tend to demonize people who differ from you politically by standing on the graves of the children of Sandy Hook, saying they don't seem to care enough about the dead kids. If they cared more about the dead kids, they would agree with you on policy.
Hey guys, Ben Shapiro is back once again. In today's video, we'll be looking at Ben Shapiro's views on gun control. Before we start, won't you guys kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We post content like this and much more. Turn on notifications too so that you get alerted every time we post a new video. Let's get started. I think that we can all agree that Ben Shapiro is a very outspoken and extremely controversial political commentator. He has been very outspoken about gun control and gun ownership, and his views on the issue have for sure caused a stir. With all that has happened in America in recent years with the regular occurrence of mass shootings, questions have been asked about the policies or laws in place when it comes to gun control and ownership. It is an issue that has refused to go away for many years now. It is something that has divided a lot of citizens of America, with some believing that it is their right to own a gun, while others say that there should be more stricter restrictions, so to speak, when it comes to owning guns, which would at least lessen the amount of mass shootings happening. Ben Shapiro, as you would expect, has been very loud with his stance on gun control. Ben Shapiro is very much in the belief that Americans have the right to own a gun and that those rights to own a gun should not in any way be infringed upon. In fact, Ben Shapiro himself owns a gun, so that further explains where he stands with the whole gun control debate. Then the Sandy Hook incident happened, which incited rage all over the country, and the talk of gun control was reignited. One of the things Ben Shapiro is notorious for is the very heated debate he and Piers Morgan had back in 2013 about gun control, and he made some really bold claims during that debate which got everybody talking and very visibly made Piers Morgan very much unhappy.
You tend to demonize people who differ from you politically by standing on the graves of the children of Sandy Hook, saying they don't seem to care enough about the dead kids. If they cared more about the dead kids, they would agree with you on policy.
One of the things he said during the debate that truly offended Mr. Morgan is that he believes that Morgan has been a bully about the whole issue of gun control. He went on by saying that Piers demonizes people that differ from him politically and that he stands on the graves of the dead kids of Sandy Hook.
What happened in Sandy Hook?
How dare you accuse me of standing on the graves of the children that died there? How dare you?
I've seen you do it repeatedly, Piers.
Like I say, how dare you?
Well, I mean, you can keep saying that, but you've done it repeatedly.
Piers posed a few questions at Shapiro that he wanted him to answer. He first asked whether he'd like every American to have an AR-15. Ben replied saying no, and then Piers asked him to list the Americans which should not be allowed to own the weapon. To which Ben replied, "I'd stop anyone with a criminal background, I'd stop anyone with a history of mental illness, and I would require anyone that has somebody with a criminal background or history of mental illness in the household to keep that gun locked up and safe." So Shapiro believes in the Second Amendment, that citizens should be allowed to own guns, just as long as there are some criteria that are met for the potential owner. Piers then asked Ben about background checks. Around that time, 40% of all gun sales never required any background checks. Ben responded, "I believe in background checks for everyone," even going so far as to say that there should be a national registry of who owns guns and who doesn't, and he also believes that the registry should not be made public. Then we fast forward to 2017. This was the year that the Las Vegas shooting occurred. And once again, calls for some drastic action to be taken on guns was the talk all over the country. Some even suggested going as far as banning all guns. And of course, Ben Shapiro had some words for the people making such calls. Shapiro argues that banning all guns would be unwise as well as immoral, but we must balance the need and right to firearms with public policy concerns, including the risk that a machine gun will be used in public. Shapiro suggested that policymakers should look at ways of enforcing federal laws banning the sale of guns to the mentally ill. That is Ben Shapiro's views on gun control. Do you agree with him? What are your views on gun control? Let us know down in the comments below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content like this and much more. Turn on notifications too so that you don't miss any future videos. Take care for now, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.